Good morning, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel about cross stitch, and there are going to be life updates. You guys, y'all showed up in the comments last week when I mentioned that somebody was complaining about having life updates and videos, and whew, my tribe was there. You came into the comments and you're like, we love the updates. So I'll keep it brief, but I'll tell you what's been going on around here. We live in Oregon, and we live in the country, and my husband's building a house. So we have kind of temporary quarters right now, and this time of year, I always feel like, oh, I just wish I was in a house, because we live in a room in our shop and a tiny house on our property. My husband's building a house. But the spiders, the end of summer spiders, they look like they come right out of the Hogwarts dark forest. There, like last night, there was one that was huge on the floor, and I just smashed him. But ugh, I hate to do that, but then I'm like, there's not enough space for me and that spider to live in this room. So I am definitely looking forward to having a house to move into at some point. My husband is going to be painting this weekend. So last time I told you the sheetrock was going in, it's done. They did a fantastic job, very, very good, well done job on the sheetrock, taping and mudding, and it was like a dust cloud coming out of the house. My husband, that was the right thing to do, to subcontract that out for sure. So that's going on. I probably won't throw any pictures in the video this time because it isn't so different. Well, it is different, but I'll have it painted next time. How about that? At least primered. We just need to put in our bathroom and hook up the power. Put the septic in, hooked up to the septic. You need to get the water plumbed in. And then, we have to put the outlet covers on, a couple of interior doors in. And then we can have a final inspection and move in. So in the county I live in, it doesn't have to be completely done. It just has to be safe. You have to have a bathroom. You have to have power, septic, and water. So we're going to continue to work on the house. It's not going to be fully done, but we're going to be able to get in there. My husband the other day, he goes, I think we're just going to take your craft room and finish that first. I was like, okay. Anyway. I try to be a good sport about it, but I am definitely longing for some space that doesn't include spider webs everywhere, and that you can knock down one day and they're back the next. Anyway, I digress. So also, we had a family reunion a couple weekends ago. It was fantastic. I will throw some photos at the end, and the trees are incredible at this place. So there's trees that like 5 people couldn't, arm to arm, end to end, couldn't put their arms around it. They're amazing. So we did that. My husband did give me a cold, so toward the end it was kind of miserable when we came home Saturday night instead of Sunday. I learned how to play mahjong. That was fun. My sister-in-law taught us how to play mahjong. I bought a mahjong set because she didn't want to have to bring it on the plane, and I figured, well, maybe I'll learn how and really love it. So I did that. Then the next weekend, my sister and I went to the fair, and I had entered my Audubon Lazy Bear Mountain, and I got a blue ribbon, which was fantastic. There was not a lot of needlework at the state fair. It was surprising. Like, there was maybe 10 pieces, not much at all. And there's not much for ribbons that they gave out to the needle arts, but the quilts, there was lots of big different types of ribbons and divisions and etc. etc. So the quilts were lovely to see too. Then we went to Acorns and Threads and did a little shopping. We went to my sister's for my mom's a milestone birthday the next day, and then I just worked, and here we are today. So I did start some projects, and I did work on a big project. So let me show you what I worked on. The first one, and the one that I spent the most time on, is a fan favorite. It is Rose Wreath Sampler. And I think it's Michael from Davis Quilting and Stitching. Go watch their channel. the projects they have are very similar to mine and fantastic projects. I'm always gobsmacked when I watch the channel. I have a little sweet thread bed that came from Acorns and Threads. The lovely array of threads for this project. It's amazing. This one, you can choose the red to be either Claret by Gentle Arts or Rose Garden by Gentle Arts. This gives it a more antique look. Or if you're like me, I use both. I just kind of put them where I want to put them, and I worked on the top end. This is so big, I'm going to have a hard time getting this on my board even. This is on a silk weaver, was supposed to be 46 count. Turns out to be 40 count. And the cut of the linen was not straight at all. And in fact, it gave me a heart attack at the beginning. Because I thought, oh, I stitched the bottom and it's not going to have enough room to frame it. But it will. It's just going to be snug here. So the last time I showed you this, I had done like this bit here, and I think most of this tree and a little bit of this was done. So basically I put in all of the rest of this. This water skipper was in, so I put the other one in. I think it's kind of interesting because one of them, like this one's a little bit darker than this one. It's just the variegation of the thread when I stitched it. That grass took forever. I stitched a good week on this to get this done. So I worked my way across it, kind of to the top part. I got these derpy birds. They're kind of crazy looking. This tree has yellow. You can't really see it, but it's that Ohio lemon pie. Oh, I think it's Ohio lemon pie or something like that from Gentle Arts. And then these houses were a white-ish color, but turns out when I stitched with it, it's exact color of the linen. So I changed it to Jakey Brown, so it's kind of a pinkish brown color, which I like because it's in keeping with the tone of the colors here, but it's not too pink. You know what I mean? So, ooh, I love this one. My goal is to get this one done and take it to Jill Rensel Studios for framing when I go to Stitch West in October. So I had to really dedicate time to get this part done. What I have left is the big wreath, which I'm going to do last. I have this one done, this motif done. So I think next I'm going to work on these little motifs here. Maybe this peacock, which is quite interesting. And then I'll just have the wreath left. So that one was the first one that I worked on and took a substantial amount of time. And I didn't, I don't say, oh, I'm going to work on this for 3 days or 5 days or whatever. I kind of tend to work on projects for about a week. Sometimes it's half a week, but I don't find that I'm very effective if I try to do, on Thursdays I do this project and on whatever. That just doesn't work for me. Mostly because a lot of times I'm working a long day, and then when I get in here, I just want to stitch. Like I don't want to have to take things on and off the Q-snap. I stitch two-handed on a Q-snap with the lap stand. The lap stand is that person's not making this anymore. They passed away. So I can't really refer you to someone, but I do know that there are other lap stands being made that are kind of similar to it. So now some starts. I hopped on the bandwagon under the Homespun Needleworks Facebook group, and I bought this. And I think I might have showed this on the last video. I can't remember. It's Mary Pooklington. What a name. 1832 by Running with Needles and Scissors, Sylvia. It's an Adam and Eve sampler. It says, Adam and Eve, the serpent did deceive. Paradise was lost and salvation bought at great cost. Mary Pooklington wrought this in the year 1832, her age 9, I think. The colors on this are fantastic. That's what drew me to it. And all the flowers. I love stitching flowers more than anything. Adam and Eve are a little crazy looking, and I might stitch them. I also might stitch an A and an E that represents Adam and Eve instead of the people. I haven't decided yet, and I've got time. So this, I chose in that Facebook group, when they have an exclusive like this, so it's sort of like a retreat piece. It's exclusive for a year, usually. Charlotte Warrington was exclusive. I don't think that Needlework Press has any, I don't think they're going to release that. I think you could only get it through that group. Anyway, where was I going with this? I hadn't, you buy the kit and you can choose the thread type you want, and you can choose the count of linen. I'm like, come on, Lisa, use your brain. So here are the colors for this one. I mean, come on, look at this. Ooh, I think this is Turkish red, or it's Louisiana hot sauce. Both great colors. This floss tag from my friend Kathy Lounsbury, and as is this thread bling, if you will. I just love this. It's so sweet. She's so talented. And also with that came a thread holder it's like acrylic. And this came from Colorado Cross Stitcher, this kit did. You can see the etching on it. Isn't that pretty? Although I don't tend to use these. I know there are people who do. So I picked her up and started her. One moment while I get this on the board. I have this folded in half. It's twice as tall. I'm not even sure that'll work. I think I am going to have to go the long way. It's going to want to fall off of this board. This is 40 Count Cocoa by Weeks. It's a very rich color, super pretty. Maybe a little darker than what you see there. Probably the backlighting. That's not too far off, but it's a little pink. Anyway, the colors are fantastic. I love them. They're very vivid. They really pop on this fabric. I can't wait to keep going on this one. I am going to probably need to focus on a couple pieces that I want to take to Rental Studios. So this one I want to get back to, but I might be a little bit before I get back to it. Okay. Now, when I was camping at the family reunion, I'm not hauling my lap stand with me. No way. And so I go for ease, and some years I don't even stitch at all because we're playing games and we're socializing and eating and cooking and having a good time. But I did pull this out. I showed this in the last video. This is Winter Berries and Pine with I Needle and Thread. You can get this through Shepherd's Bush in Ogden, Utah. You have to call them. You can't order it online. And they've got kits and they've got patterns. So I ordered the kit because I do love a kit. And I got a decent start on this. It was so much fun to stitch on this. Look at that little gingerbready house. Isn't that adorable? This is the kit fabric. I ordered 40 count. And now the over one, no joke. I had to really pay attention to what was going on with that. I think it had a color that was missing out of the kit. On mine, it was Pine Needles by, I think, Gentle Art. It might be Classic. I don't remember. I had it in my stash, so it's not a big deal. I just, when I got home, I tucked it into my bag, and I'm ready to get back to this at any time. This is great Zoom call, right? This is all fully done. I just need to fill it in. This takes a little more attention. So this really got my Christmas bug going. I thought, ooh, I would love to be stitching on that. But again, I'm trying to get some things done so I could take it to Rental Studios. Now, the last new start is one I showed last time, Find Joy. This is a Teresa Kogut Patreon chart. If you're on her Patreon, you would have gotten this. It's level 3 and 4. It's gorgeous. Now, this calls for Roxy Floss out of Canada, or there's a DMC listing. There's a couple colors that don't really translate quite the same, I think. I just pulled my threads out and did a conversion from mine. I would have ordered the Roxy, but I was too impatient. I just wanted to get going on it. So, yeah, I love this. Now, I picked up some 40 count Maple Bar by Cedar River Linens from Acorns and Threads when we went there. A half yard. It's gorgeous. It's my favorite color from Jody. but she has so many gorgeous colors. This is such a beautiful samplerish color. I got a half yard of a fat half, and I did get going on this. Isn't this gorgeous? So I am down in this corner. I've done this section and I'm starting here. So this is that's a lot, right? And that's big. And when I look at this, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a bigger piece finished than I thought. It's like 270 stitches-ish square. And I did have to mess around with the inside color of this flower a couple times. I didn't like the way that color showed, the one that I had chosen. And so there are some things that I'm doing. I'm just adjusting on the fly. The grout color in the house, I want to say Teresa on the legend, it's one color, the Roxy Floss, but then it's kind of two colors for DMC. So I just chose something that I thought looked good on this linen, and it's good. I'm happy with it. This is the windows with the curtains in there. So she did, her colorway is probably a little more muted and primitive. So the reds are more, and the pinks are more cinnamony, I would say, more muted for sure. And I changed mine to, let's see, I have it right here. Here's mine. And I wasn't sure how this was going to come out, so don't quote me on this because I might change some things. But these are the three pinkish, I chose pinkish reds instead of cinnamon reds. So the lightest is Old Brick by Gentle Arts. The second one is Hollyberry by Gentle Arts. And the third one is Hollyberry by Classic Colorworks. So I got two Hollyberries in there, but they're definitely different colors. I mean, you could tell, right? It's a nice gradient there. So that's what I'm working on. This is probably between this one, if I could get this one done, and Rose Wreath Sampler done, I would be ecstatic and take that to Utah with me. Now, that kind of means my patriotic stuff has to pause a little bit because this is still a lot of stitching to get done in basically 2 months. We'll see. We'll see. So those are the stitching pieces that I worked on. And I do have a couple things to share with you, but let me first say my two people who won charts last time, thank you for reaching out. I haven't been to the post office. I fully intended to mail it out this last week, and I didn't get around to it. So I apologize, but it's on my list of things to do this next week. And when I say me, I'm probably going to send my husband because he's the one that's out and about doing things, always buying stuff for construction. So he goes to the post office for me. I just got to get it together. All right, so let me show you a few things here that I purchased. And then I want to show you some charts. It's a couple of starts that I have in mind, and some, oops, hold on. I have an avalanche here. And some fall charts. Because truly, I'm torn between Christmas and fall right now. Oops. One moment. I have to be a contortionist here. All right, so this weekend, I am going to start two things that I showed you last time that are prepped and ready. This is gorgeous. And it's not so big. I mean, you've got this house and scene on the front, and you've got to stitch the outside, but it's not like 5 billion stitches. It came as a kit. I think I got this through Country Sampler. The threads, I've got them all on, all the thread drops put together. A little, I usually I have 5 million thread drops because you go to retreats and people were handing them out, 50 at a time. So I use these now just to write the name of the pattern on there. And I pulled, this is the kit fabric for it. So that I'm going to start this weekend. And I can't wait because fall, I mean, you feel the trees are starting to turn here. Definitely in the season for it. The second thing, and this is, so I have shown this chart for, I don't know how many years. I'm going to start this. Trisha, which is Preb 40 on Instagram. She said this is her oldest WIP, and she hates it because she has some thread that she doesn't like. So Narissa from Narissa's Stitching Studio and some of her friends down south are working on it, and I'm like, well, I'm going to work on it. So I'm going to start this weekend. I have silks for it. I don't think I'm going to use the silks. It's going to be like G Leger, where I'm just going to pick colors that match the picture. And I'm going to do a conversion. I did find another piece of Silk Weaver. This is called, it had like Havana. It says this is 46 count Havana. I don't know. Silk Weaver, I think they're out of business. They were in New Jersey. They might be dying under a different name. I don't know. Great, great fabric. Not easy to get or to count on getting. So that's the fabric I'm going to use. I'm going to pull threads today. So there's that. And those are the two things I have planned to start. All right, so I do have, well, actually, let me do this next. One moment. Let me show you the rest of my haul. Then I'll share a giveaway. Oops, I got stuff everywhere here. The thread from my sewing machine is all over me. Okay. So Misty Purcell, I get her newsletter, which gives me access to her new releases faster. I saw this and I'm like, I love this. Jack-o'-lantern seeds, so stinking adorable. I bought the Forbidden Fiber Co. Mocha Swirl fabric that it's stitched on. And I bought, accidentally, 2 floss packs. I don't know why I bought 2. One of them is going to be a giveaway this week. Okay, so I got that. I could start that this week too. I'm just in the start mode. When my sister and I went to Acorns and Threads, I bought that half yard of maple bar, and I bought a couple of charts. I bought the October House pumpkin. This is so sweet. I love October House. I bought an assortment of, I go through Olive and Oscar. I bought 2 each of those, and then Walnut is back in stock by General Arts. So if you need that, Acorns and Threads has a bunch of it. I also picked up this Teresa Kogut. The new fall one is also out now. This is the summer one. I have the spring one from earlier this year. I bought the Chantel's board that you can grunge up. So that's in my to-do pile. I bought and then I went online. Let's see here. Hold on. Am I out of order? Oh, yep. Yes. Okay, hold on. I also bought this from Acorns and Threads. I love this. Love, love, love it. Teresa Kogut, Goodness and Plenty. This looks like it's stitched on hog bristle. Let's see if I can find out. I didn't choose that surprise. Oh, baked clay, which is funny because baked clay has a more pinkish tone to it. I just didn't photograph that way. I have 40 count milkshake by Shakespeare's Peddler. What is that? Graham Cracker Fabrics, maybe? I bought it last month, and this would be a great fabric for the Goodness and Plenty. Then I went back. Oh, when I was at Acorns and Threads, I asked if the new Brenda Gervais patterns had come in, and they had not, but I've got on the list. So when they came in, they gave me a call, and I got this one I've been wanting. This is, what is this called? Manor at Swan Lake. It's gorgeous. This was from the Stitch Camp at Country Sampler. I think it was an exclusive last year. And then this Quaker Snippets. So pretty. Kind of reminds me of Primrose, right? They did the Quaker pieces. And then I went to, I watched Daisy K Primitives at Christie with her Patriotic Goodness. She had shown this before, and then she showed it again on her channel. And you guys, I love patriotic pieces. So this is Summer House Stitch Works. I went to the Silver Needles website, and they had it there. I think it might be an exclusive there. I'm not sure. But I love this. I had to buy it. So Christy, thank you for the inspiration. I also picked up the other 2 pieces for the fall Halloween Fragments in Time 2025. These are so cute. So there's only 4 in total, and now I have them. I need to start them. All right, so I watched Phoebe from Moonshine Stitchery, and then I watched Heidi from Whips and Kits, and they're good friends. So Heidi was showing some project on a fabric that I was like, I had to pause the video and go buy it. It's Grapeseed by Moonshine Stitchery, and look at this fabric, how gorgeous it is. It's a very rich dirt color. Dirt is the best way I can describe it. It's just a very solid, strong, beautiful, rich brown. It's so pretty. I know it did not disappoint. I think Heidi said that she thought it was one of her favorite fabrics, and it's one of mine too. It's so beautiful. So these are all 40 count. I also bought Grain. Okay, so this is hilarious. So this is, it says grain, Grain. In real life, it's green. It's a great color. What a fan! Unicorn, peacock, and badger. Unicorn would be pretty on this. It would just be a lighter version. But when I think of this as grain, it's a grain color, but it's grain, Grain. So funny. But it is sort of it's a color 611, DMC 611. Very similar to that. It's a fantastic color. I like it a lot. Then I bought Serenade. So what a pretty samplerish color this is. Very slight modeling, very subtle, sweet, light color. Let's see. I'm trying to think of a good color comparison. What thread would be a DMC thread? I can't think of anything. It doesn't come off the top of my head because it's very unique. It's gorgeous. Very pretty color. Will be great for samplers. And then the Phoebe, she's so sweet. She threw an extra piece in, and this one is gorgeous. This is Rhapsody. This reminds me of Exemplar from Lakeside. Also maybe Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. Kind of that similar colorway. You can see gorgeous modeling, light, almost a blush color, but not quite. There, you can kind of see it there. Gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. So thank you, Phoebe. That was very kind of you. And if you haven't tried Moonshine Stitchery, she has a fantastic selection of gorgeous fabrics. All right, so we're at a half an hour. I will go quickly through my pile of some fall stitches that I pulled out that I'm inspired by. Oops. And you know, I worked so hard to get my whip count down, and now it's creeping up a little bit, but I will finish some things. And I'm really not worried about it because I want to have things I can choose that I want to stitch on. Now, I don't know why, but at some point I bought Mill Hill kits, and I've never done one, but I intend to get back to them. And look at this one. Isn't this one adorable? Painted Pumpkins. I don't know what year this was released. Does it say on the back? There's other pumpkin charts you can get, looks like, on the back. But this one, I was totally smitten with the colorway on this and the little witch flying in the sky. So there's that one. Sorry, Flosstube itchy nose. Also, this one's called Moonstruck Manor. Look at this tiny little lantern with a house in it. How adorable is that? I'll have to get me, be like Audrey Stitchywitch 42 and get me a little Halloween tree. And this one, I love this one. Buttons and Beads. Those 3 cats. So, you know, I have that Cats on Parade, that Blackbird chart. I have fabric and I have thread. Maybe I should start that one. I stitched that one once for a gift exchange on a Facebook group. It was my very first gift exchange. In fact, I did 2 pieces. And like you buy things in accompaniments and put it in there. And the gal who was the admin, she's like, are you trying to outshine everybody? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't want to under-deliver. So I did a drum with the Cats on Parade, and it was adorable. And I think I always anticipated to stitch it again. So I need to get back to that. This reminds me of it. Now, the primitive needle was, the designer passed away, but her daughter now is selling her charts on her own website, Blackened Sky. That one's an intriguing one to me. Also, I really like this one, which is Hollow. Very interesting little caricatures in that. Oh, here's my other two that go with the 2025 Fragments in Time by Summerhouse Stitchworks. Gosh, I need to get that out. I need to set that up and start that. I wonder if I have the... I don't know if I have the threads or not. Just figure that out. Ooh, this one too. Don't you love going through your stash? I love a good roll around in my stash every once in a while. When my kids were little, my craft room could fit in 2 cabinets. They were like, 6-foot cabinets that you could put together from IKEA. They're not real wide. They're like this. All my stash would fit in there. Except for my fabric. I had 2 totes of fabric that were in the closet. And sometimes at night, my husband would come in there and I'm just looking at my fabric and he goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "A girl just needs to roll around in her fabric every once in a while." And I would craft from 9 to midnight because my kids were in bed, and it was my therapy. It got me through the day, let me tell you. So here's a one that's been released for a long time. It's called Very Scary by Lizzie Kate. This is so cute. I have a few threads. It's a 3-part series, and they're all tucked in this bag. Ooh, this one. This one came out, it's been a few years now. This is Little House Needleworks October's Party. This was when I went to the attic. Lori and I went to the attic for summer school. By the way, summer school this year, wowza. Awesome. Love to see all the goodies. But we went probably 2019, I'm going to say. And this was released. It said, "October gave a party. The leaves by hundreds came. The chestnuts, oaks, and maples, and leaves of every name. The sunshine spread a carpet, and everything was grand. Miss Weather led the dancing. Professor Wind the band." Look at that. So we, at that attic needlework retreat, this came out, and I think we were all swarming to buy it. We learned... I think Linda Vincent from Needle Made Designs, her project was a cigar box that you decorated sort of like the jewelry boxes that people buy and make into stitching boxes. And she showed us how to origami a little square cups that you could put into the dividers inside the cigar boxes. And I thought, this would be cute to put on top of the cigar box. And you open it up, and there's all your stitchy goodness. So I've got a couple of those. They're in my craft totes out in the shop, which someday will be in my house. I do love this one, Satsuma Street Cataween. This is awesome. Now, I'm sure this is on perforated paper, and I feel like I need to get one of those magnety stitching. It's like a Q-snap, but it's not a Q-snap. I don't know what you call it. It's not a hoop either, because you don't want to put perforated paper in any of those. It'll leave an imprint. It's like 2 flat pieces that are magnetic, and you sandwich it. You put the perforated paper in the middle. I hope I did a good enough job explaining that. Adorable. I was looking for this chart the other day, Gardner Good Witch. There's another one. It's like bobbing for pumpkins or something that's similar format. Oh, it might be more of a... I don't know what it is. Anyway, she's got a couple that look the same. Super cute. This one this came out last year. This is another palette piece. Takes a while to stitch those. This is Salem Sampler. It's in her Rhode Island style, or the Balch Sampler style. And the fabric that goes with this or the called for fabric, is Gallows Hill by Needle and Flax. And she had this on her website. So sometimes with a new release, Rachel will have the chart and the fabric on her site, on her website. And it might be like she has a new Patreon account now, and you can join and get some of this stuff earlier. So I haven't joined. I think the fabric clubs might be full, but right now I just need to focus on paying for my house. You know, that's why we haven't gone to many retreats. I just, yeah, it costs a lot to build a house. So this has been in my stash since last year. This one's also pretty. Robin Pickens, Seasonal Career, Blackbird's Autumn. And I really like this. Sweet and Bright. Halloween Quilt by Primrose Cottage, one of the Quakers. I love this one. Blueberry Ridge. Her stuff is so cute. So she's the daughter of Pansy Patch Quilts, Lori. They're from Canada. But this is House on Pear Hill. Look at how sweet this is and how fall. It's kind of that summer into fall transition window. So pretty. This was a Brenda release either last year or the year before. Woodland Witch. I haven't seen many people stitch this, but how sweet is that? Along the same time, I think it's the same release, Autumn's Swan. This is gorgeous. There's another antique fair coming up in September that I think I'm going to go to. But it's about an hour away. Maybe even more. Hour and a half. I don't know. We had so much fun at the last one. And I saw a swan like that in another kind of antique mall. One of those big swan planter things. I can't be buying any more of that stuff, you guys. Quaker, Halloween Quaker by Primrose. Isn't that sweet? I love the colors in this. And I love that fabric. What fabric is this? This is awesome trim. Oh, this is Vintage Country Mocha. It looks a little more gold than a normal Vintage Country Mocha. Oh, this is the one I was thinking about, the Potting Shed. Similar, right, to the Gardener Good Witch. Wouldn't it be fun to have a couple of those pillows just stacked next to each other? Here's a Stacy Nash. This, I believe, came out last year. Merry Autumn Pinky. Always deceiving. It looks like it's a very small piece, but I don't know. There's a lot of stitching in here. And Nettle, sorry, by Stacy Nash. This is so stinking adorable. So cute. I'm sure there's going to be a million of those. And when I was at Acorns and Threads, they had a bunch of them in a case that customers had stitched and brought them to be displayed together. It was adorable. Here's another Blueberry Ridge. Sort of reminds me of the Pear House on Pear Hill. Isn't that gorgeous? Ooh, I would start this one. I wonder if that... The thread pack for the Mystery Purcell might work for this. Anyway, this is gorgeous. Ooh, this was a kit, a Dine to Stitch kit from 2017. That's why I've just been shopping my stash for a while. I do buy some things occasionally, but I don't go crazy anymore. This is Heartstring Samplery, and it's called Acorn House Pin Drum. I'm sure that the pattern is released now. Dying to Stitch, that's really the only club I'm in right now. I'm not in a fabric club or a thread club or any club really, except for the Dying to Stitch. Ooh, look at this one. This is an oldie but a goodie. Country Stitches, Field Mouse Hollow. There's no stitching on this one. This is all like, I would call it fussy creativeness, but it's gorgeous. I'm sure Kathy Lounsbury probably has made something like this. She makes these, and she makes it look easy. I don't know how she does it, but it's gorgeous. Sweet little pattern. I think I got that on. I got that at a store or something. I don't know where I got that. I'm sure it's probably not available. But you could look on the secondary market, and you might look at her website, because maybe Brenda has it on her website. This is, okay, I love all of these. This is Bent Creek Photo Booth. It's Fall Friends. It's an owl and a cat. Look at these guys. I think Pam from Just Keep Stitching stitched some of these, and it's so comical. What great use of humor, and so funny. This is the first one of these that Brenda produced, I believe. Feels like fall. Oh, it might be the second one. The Earth Sings might be one. The first one? I don't remember. But that's gorgeous. And then Paulette made this one, which is the New World Sampler. This is the first bulge style that was not like patriotic. So the New World Sampler, look at that, so detailed. I haven't seen anybody do this, or I'm sure lots of people have done it, I just haven't seen it. Goodness Gracious by Brenda. Look at that witch. She's so cute. I don't think I've seen this one done either. I'm surprised Tara hasn't done it from Sully Stitches. Or maybe she hasn't, I just haven't, I don't remember it. I don't know. That one's sweet. This came out and I was like, ooh, I think this was an exclusive through the Quilter Station, perhaps. And later when it came out, I bought it right away. It's Harvest Pin Keep by Chessie and Me. And I would say Chessie and Me is one of the most underrated designers. I love everything she makes. I wish she would update her packaging, honestly. Her projects are gorgeous. So, and then this is Hilda Boo and Sunflowers 2 by Brenda Gervais. And I've got the threads for that, and I've got the fabric. Yeah, I don't know why I haven't stitched it. Sweet. And the Witch's Brew, also by Brenda. And I also have the fabric for this too. I don't know why I haven't stitched that. And then the last one that I have for you today, and I have a whole bunch of Christmas ones for the next video. But this one I bought from Olivia at Hillside Rookery, and she goes, you need to stitch that because I want to see it. And this one definitely, I love the simplicity. This captures country life to me. And this is very much sort of where I live. I live in the country, and it's agricultural here. There's huge grass seed farms, hazelnut orchards, vineyards, blueberry fields, sunflower. There's just everything here. It's a lot of agriculture and like a lot of pastoral scenes, and just gorgeous here. Christmas tree farms, mountains, the ocean, all of it. This is Brown Egg Farm by Not Forgotten Farms. And it's just so sweet. Couldn't be any sweeter. Who knows? Maybe I'll have that kitted up for next time. Oh, I have a giveaway. So for this giveaway, I have 6 Hands Across the Sea Scary Apothecary charts. I got through my charts and I just realized I wasn't going to get to these. I love them, but I'm just not going to get to them. So this is Bat Balm, Broomstick, Bitter Brew, Coffin Paint, Cauldron Cleaner, and Cackle Lozenges. So there's 6 of them. They're going to go to one person. If you would like these, put follow in your comment. Okay. And then I accidentally bought 2 of the thread packs that go with Luminous Fiber Arts. Look at the colors in that. This is, so I'm going to give one of them away because I didn't mind. I don't need 2. I'll share it with you. So this one, if you would like it, write seeds in your comment. I won't make you write jack-o'-lantern. How about just write seeds? I'm going to go ahead and limit this to the U.S. until we get some of this tariff stuff figured out, because I can't ship. Like, I'll send my husband to the store or the post office to mail things, but he didn't have time to write custom slips out for everybody. So I'm going to limit this one to the U.S. Hopefully we get that figured out, because there are businesses who are not shipping to the U.S. now, and what a mess. Let's see. So that's it for today. And thank you for sticking around for so long. Thank you for everyone who said such great, kind words. 99.9% of the comments on my videos are super positive. I'm at like 142 videos, and I've had 2 comments that were kind of snarky. Pretty good. So I will see you in 2 or 3 weeks. Take care and have a great holiday weekend if you're in the U.S. Thanks.